So if you are joining or if you see this, this is my first ever live. And um, because of that, I wanted to first introduce myself. If you've watched any of my videos, I've been doing this for a while now, a little over 3 years, I believe. And um, it's been completely faceless, right? Even before this whole AI became really um, dominant like it is today on social media, I had been using various tools to try and make science videos. So I guess to begin with, my name's Jimmy. So I am the creator of the Science in a Hurry channel, and I've been the sole person. I do everything. I create the videos. I come up with the scripts, the audio, all that stuff, and I kind of started off as a passion, just a little side project that I got into. AI tools, video tools, and such were not the greatest back then. So if you were to go to my older videos and compare that to what I'm doing today, it's a completely different level of quality. And so um, I decided I wanted to start doing live when I make my videos for a few reasons. One, I really want to kind of build a community and also take this a little bit more serious. Um, and I kind of also want to show people what it is I do, how I do it, so that if you, are interested in doing something similar with your own ideas, you could see that it really isn't too hard. There's a lot of, I would say, forced hate for AI nowadays, but it can be a very useful tool. And unfortunately, the term AI slop has been thrown around quite a bit now. And in many ways, I understand because you see these people who promote making hundreds of videos and a matter of minutes, and then they kind of spam YouTube or TikTok or whatever it is with all these very low quality videos. And that has, I feel, kind of hurt what I've been doing. And I want to kind of show that even though I am using various AI tools, it is, if done right and put some effort put behind it, it you can still have some quality videos. So, uh, with that said, my hope with these lives are, again, not just to show what it is that I do, but also to get ideas and talk with you guys and put various videos together, kind of make these videos a little bit more fun. So, one of the things I've done as of recent, probably over the past month and a half or 2 months or so, is switched art style completely. So, I used to uh, for the more photorealistic approach, which some of these videos, as far as the long form, I believe this one, December 29th, was my last photorealistic video. And then the shorts, maybe around the same time, December time frame. Uh, you can see there's a big gap from December. I didn't post my next long form until June. I've kind of struggled with this. channel as far as motivation and interest. I've given up a few times. I've restarted, and now I'm hopefully here to stay. So a few months back, 2 months or so, I shifted to an animated art style, which if you've seen any of my videos, you'll see that the goal there was to try and be a little bit more engaging, a little bit more silly. It allows me to be a little bit more creative with my videos, not so constrained to realism, which also makes creating the videos significantly easier as well. So, um, the issue though is that since I've returned, videos aren't getting all too many views anymore. Has been a struggle. You could see here, aside from a handful that have broken a couple hundred, pretty much in the double digits for most videos. And that has been pretty demotivating in many ways, but my hope is that if I stick to it, kind of refine what I'm doing, and hopefully gain more interest through things like this, through lives, that I could start seeing these numbers go up. But my suspicion here is that given the prevalence of all this AI slop that has gone out on social media, especially over the past, I would say, year or so, when it really kind of started taking off, it's essentially hidden my videos from many people's views. Um, it's made it a big challenge. So we see some of my older videos. This is going back to May. You can see I was breaking 1,000 with a few higher. A thousand was somewhat frequent, but ever since then, it's been a big drop. And I don't have these videos only on YouTube. I also have a channel on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram. And what's really kind of been a little frustrating is on all the other platforms, I have had videos go viral. I've had some with hundreds of thousands of views, multiple videos with tens of thousands of views, and for whatever reason, YouTube has always been the challenge. I've I've not been able to crack the code here. I think my highest viewed video, if we were to look at long form, is this old video I posted back in 2023, so 3 years ago. Very low quality, but it was about the Ring of Fire. 47,000 views. And this is still to this day my biggest, most frequent active video. It keeps building views, watch hours, and so forth. And I've even tried recreating this video once, not too long ago. Let's see, it's probably going to be here. Did I pass it? I don't think so. It's got less video or less views than I thought it would. Right here. Ring of Fire Explained. This was last December, so about 8 months ago. Only 430 views. This one is still somewhat, slowly gaining audiences, but for the most part, my biggest video is this Ring of Fire. And I could only assume it's a very hot topic. There always seems to be earthquakes going on, and people are always looking up to figure out what it is. I just wish it's frustrating trying to convert, trying to get people to watch my other videos uh, on the same topic because they are of better quality, but it is what it is. So anyway, this was just a few, taking a look at a few things here with the channel. I'm very uh, transparent as far as the channel itself. You can see it's not been doing all too hot. Barely any views as of recent. If I were to take a look at the overall views, yeah, I might have about almost 5,000 subs, but 48-hour views, very low, about 900. I've been very lucky to break around 1,200 over a 48-hour period, and that's been like that now for a few months since I've returned. So, with that said, I will go ahead and kind of show you guys some of what I use. So, right now, it's actually very simple. I try and keep it simple. Um, use two primary tools, or three, I guess. The first one is going to be 11 Labs. If you're familiar with any sort of video AI editing, 11 Labs is a very popular um, tool to to generate voices, to narrate videos, and so I've purely been using 11 Labs for quite some time. I find it very convenient and very easy to use. And then as far as all of the visuals, I use Google VO 3. So this is has its drawbacks, but it is easy to use for what it is that I do with these um, new animated video styles. It gets the job done. So, and it's also reasonably priced for what it is you can do with it. So, right now, my current video, which is what I'll be working on during this live, is the greenhouse effect. So, not the most exciting of topics, and that's, kind of the unfortunate thing with a lot of science topics is people don't necessarily find them to be the most engaging or exciting, and that's one reason I wanted to shift to this art style is to try and bring to light certain topics in a more engaging way so that people can hopefully watch these videos, learn a thing or two, and also, feel a level of entertainment as well from watching it. So the other tool, so once I've created my scenes and I've adjusted them to my liking, I use CapCut, which many people are probably familiar with. CapCut here is a pretty simple tool to piece together both the audio as well as the visuals and make that into a streamless um, product for any sort of video editing. show you. This is my current video. I'm about halfway done. The goal here is to finish the rest of the video here over the next hour or two so that I can have it uploaded and ready for tomorrow. So we'll see where I left off, see what I have to film next or create next.
Global temperature would plummet to roughly minus 18 degrees Celsius, turning our entire world into a frozen, lifeless ball of ice. The natural greenhouse effect provides the thermal
Doing now, just on my second screen, I like to visually look at the script and um, then on CapCut, I'm also looking at the length in seconds of how long I need a the next scene to be. So if I were to listen to this next section here,
turning our entire world into a frozen, lifeless ball of ice. The natural greenhouse effect provides the thermal stability required for liquid oceans, stable weather patterns, and flourishing biological ecosystems.
so what I try and do is create as many scenes as I can to keep the video interesting so that I don't have a scene that is too long unless it's absolutely necessary. Try and break it up. So with this, you can break it up into two parts because if you listen to it, and it's a little easier if I were to show you here. Let me drag something into the screen. Just got to resize it. Okay, so this part,
Turning our entire world into a frozen, lifeless ball of ice.
so if we look at the script here, turning our entire world into a frozen, lifeless ball of ice. So you can see I broke up this paragraph into different scenes. So as soon as this sentence is complete, then it goes into kind of a new topic. Uh, so do here next is establish.
Turning our entire world into a frozen, lifeless ball of ice.
So I look at the timestamps 17:15, 11:01. So that's a little over 6 seconds. The reason I have to look at this is because since I use VO, everything here is about credits. So the first thing I do, I've kind of got my format here. I try and have the astronaut and the alien in every scene as much as possible. But for the scenes like this, where they're not in it, have this one. So you can see I end it with ensure the art style is in the same style as the astronaut and alien, but they are not in it. So that's just for continuity for art style. Otherwise, I would get all kinds of weird, different looking scenes, and I don't want that. So this next portion of the script, again, it says turning our entire world into a frozen, lifeless ball of ice. So I could say Earth as viewed from space. It is completely frozen over in. So ensure the art style is in the same style as the astronaut and alien. So I've always got the astronaut and alien attached to the scenes, which helps me with again maintaining the art style. And so I'll generate usually about 8 pictures since I could generate essentially unlimited amount of pictures. And so wait a couple seconds here, see how these pictures turn out. So we can see the first one here looking pretty good. Not always does VO uh, come out with the greatest. This happens a lot where it'll create an image with no background. So if I tend to or happen to like one of these images that don't have the background, you just go in there, you edit it, and say to fill in the background with whatever it is that you need. But in this case, of like this one right here. So I think that one fits what it is I'm looking for. So now what I do, switch from Nano Banana to video, and I use the Omni Flash, which is the um, newest thing they have. Always create one video at a time, just because these can burn through your credits if you're generating too many at one time. And then I switch it to frames, and then this is where I'll drag the image I want. I leave the end frame empty, and I only start with the starting frame. And this is where I will then edit. Well, actually, I needed a 6-second one. Oop. The issue here, this would take me up to 1701. Should be fine. So I'll do 6 seconds. And now for something like this, when I'm doing a planet or something from space, in this case, I'll leave it Earth as viewed from space. It is completely frozen over and uninhabitable. Now I can delete this, ensure the art style is in the same style because the image is already created. And then I will write something like they almost always like to keep the camera stationary. Camera is stationary, uh, even though it's space and there is no noise in space. It makes the video more engaging if there's some kind of noise, so it's not completely silent. So I always will type in what I want it to hear. So in this case, the deep rumble of outer space can be heard. And then say the planet is slowly rotating. One thing I hate about VO is that it seems to always want to create its own music for every scene, which would be great if you can have one fluid song that goes across the entire video, but it doesn't do that. It's not smart enough yet. And so if you don't go in there to fix it, you're going to have a million different musics that don't line up with every single scene of your video. So in this case, I say no music. And then I also don't want any unnecessary narration because sometimes it will just start talking. Since I'm using 11 Labs to narrate the video, I will explicitly say no voice. And sometimes I'll go in here and say one continuous scene because VO also likes to create a or Omni likes to create a video that has like a million different cut scenes, and can be very distracting, especially when this is already a 6 second video to begin with. So this should be fine. Earth as viewed from space. It is completely frozen over and uninhabitable. Camera is stationary. The deep rumble of outer space can be heard. Planet is slowly rotating. No music, no voice. 6 seconds. And then we create and we wait for a couple seconds. Usually doesn't take too long, 20, 30 seconds maybe, sometimes faster. Video came out pretty good. So I'll download it, go back to CapCut, get play audio. Usually I have to set it to about -10 decibels so it doesn't overpower the narration. Play it back.
Celsius, turning our entire world into a frozen, lifeless ball of ice.
Turned out well. And then we'll go to the next scene.
The natural greenhouse effect provides the thermal stability required for liquid oceans, stable weather patterns, and flourishing biological ecosystems.
So do here, I'll split it up.
The natural greenhouse effect provides the thermal stability required for liquid oceans.
Here, I'll stop at liquid oceans. So this will be another 6 second clip. But here, what I can do, let's have the astronaut and alien in it. So I'll have the astronaut and alien are on a small boat out in the middle of the ocean, are fishing. See how that turns out. do here because I want to test it out to see out of curiosity since I've never done a live, joining it with my wanted to see if I could see chat. Looks like someone had joined earlier, so I should probably have chat. Opened now. That's something I should probably look at next time. Stamps. Sorry, I'm just looking at separate video here, separate screen, so I could see. Studio. So I think if I just keep a separate chat window open, see if anyone talks in here. But what was I looking at? Okay, so the next scene is going to be this one here with the astronaut and alien. They're out in the middle of the ocean. They're swimming. So I'll take a look, see if there's anyone. They're all pretty much the same. So video frame, 6 seconds, and now astronaut and alien are on a small boat out in the middle of the ocean. They are fishing. To do here special. So um, stationary sound of the ocean. I like to put seagulls can be heard. No music, no speech. See how this turns out. that is being made. Video was created. Give it a look. Special there. Sounds.
The natural greenhouse effect provides the thermal stability required for liquid oceans, stable weather patterns.
Short scene here of probably just a few seconds for the stable weather patterns portion. See, that one probably could have been, now that I think about it, it's an extension of this ocean scene, but do for this. Stable weather patterns and flourishing biological ecosystems. So maybe I could do that as a,
Stable weather patterns and flourishing biological ecosystems.
maybe for this one I can do something where they're like out in the forest. So 22, 27, 5. So another 6 second scene. Astronaut and alien are one thing I like to do too, which is nice with the art style, since you're not really limited, is you can get creative. So, you know, thinking about this, I was going to do something nature related. Um, I, for some reason, the first thing that came to mind here was Nara Park in Japan, where you can feed the deer. So maybe I can do something here where the astronaut and alien are in Nara Park in Japan. It is pleasant and nice weather, and they are feeding the wild deer. Do something like that. That'll go with the script quite well. Listen to the script again. It says that it is stable weather patterns and flourishing biological ecosystems.
Stable weather patterns and flourishing biological ecosystems. The
We've got Nara Park. This is where I could probably insert some comedy. go, 6 seconds. One. We're going to use this one right here. And we are going to have that the astronaut and alien are in our park in Japan. It is pleasant, nice weather, and they are feeding the wild deer. So deer get greedy and ram into the astronaut, causing him to drop the crackers. Let's say, again, no. Camera remains stationary. Music, no speech, and then in this case, we will let Omni create the audio. I don't really have any ideas as far as what I want it to say. Let's give it a few seconds and see how that scene turns out. It's perfect. So that is exactly what I wanted, was something like that. So I'll download that, and then we will add that into the video.
For liquid oceans, stable weather patterns, and flourishing biological ecosystems. The modern challenge, however,
Yep, perfect.
liquid oceans, stable weather patterns, and flourishing biological ecosystems. The modern challenge, however, stems from rapid changes to atmospheric chemistry.
This next scene, challenge, however, stems from rapid changes to atmospheric chemistry. This is a part of the script where it's going to start going into human caused greenhouse or climate change, essentially. This first part, the modern challenge, however, stems from rapid changes to atmospheric chemistry. What can I do there? So the next portion is going to be all about human industrial activity. So I don't necessarily want this scene just yet to show something like pollution or factory. Um, or, maybe
The modern challenge, however, stems from rapid changes to atmospheric chemistry. Human industrial activity, deforestation, and the large-scale burning of fossil fuels are injecting massive volumes of additional greenhouse gases into the air.
think about how I want to split that up into a few different scenes. So the first one is
The
going to be
modern challenge, however, stems from rapid changes to atmospheric chemistry.
Maybe this one we can do the Industrial Revolution. So back in what was the 1800s. So have that one focused on see how long it is, 28 seconds to 34, 34, 6 seconds. So another 6 second clip. So this one will have the astronaut and alien are in a polluted city during the Industrial Revolution. So the astronaut and alien are overlooking a polluted city during the Industrial Revolution. So that would fit for the sentence. The modern challenge, however, stems from a rapid changes to atmospheric chemistry, because that's essentially when the rapid changes started happening. So let's take a look. So that would create. The one thing I don't like about VO as well is it tends to do this a lot, where I'll say I want them overlooking something or looking at something, and yet it'll place them, it'll give me images like this where they're just looking at the camera. That doesn't make any sense. And then if I really like the image, but I hate the fact that they're looking at the camera, I'll have to go in there, edit it, specifically give it instructions to turn them around so that their backs are facing the camera. And that usually fixes it, but it's a bit annoying that I have to go in there and usually fix it. But see which image I like here. This is typical. A lot of the images when you mention the Industrial Revolution, it always gives these dark, uh, grimy looking images. Do this one, kind of like that one. So what I'll do for a scene like this, so video, 6 seconds, frame, uh, astronaut and alien are overlooking a polluted city during the Industrial Revolution. And I always have to give this instruction, ensure the alien's eyes and astronauts' visors remain blacked out, because sometimes it'll just draw in a random face for the astronaut, or it'll give the alien human looking eyes with whites, and it looks weird. So for continuity, I always put that in there, but since they are facing away, I usually don't need that. So what I can do is the astronaut and alien are overlooking a polluted city during the Industrial Revolution. I'll specifically say they do not turn around, so I don't have to worry about it uh, filling in their faces. Although sometimes it'll do it anyway. They'll turn around or they'll look to the side, and that is also annoying. But I'll say they do not turn around. Um, the astronaut points outward towards the city. Alien shakes his head in disgust. stationary, music, speech, sound of distant machinery, and like that is generating. I'm going to use the bathroom real quick, so I'm going to try this scene transition. Hopefully, it works. It'll be a BRB. So I am back. Take a look at completed video. Here, see, that's what I'm talking about. Even though I specifically said not to have the alien turn around, it did it anyway. See what this is. Oh, hope you just playing around with some of this stream information. Um, what I was doing. So that's probably better than having YouTube opened separately. Okay. So that's something about having my stream bit rate audio. Uh, 28. Let me see if I could figure that out here really quick. Whatever. See you guys again, or see the chat. All right. So next thing, going to download this. Well, let me check the video again. So even though the alien turns, it looks all right. I mean, he doesn't look quite not that big of a deal. I'm not gonna regenerate another scene just because he looks a little funky there. But let's go ahead, add that in. Audio, and sometimes CapCut will mess up.
The modern challenge, however, stems from rapid changes to atmospheric chemistry. Human industrial activity.
Might be a little loud. I'm always trying to make sure the audio doesn't overpower the narration.
The modern challenge, however, stems from rapid changes to atmospheric chemistry. Human industrial activity, deforestation, and
I just realized here again, this could have just been an extension of that scene. This is 34 seconds, 36 seconds, because only 2 seconds that I need. Um, yeah, let's regenerate it to 8 seconds. Take a look at the script again, really quick. So, modern challenge, human industrial, then we'll have deforestation, and then the large scale burning of fossil fuels. Scene will be another. Or you know what? That one, even though I feel it's implying uh, human, that one I could focus on like modern day air pollution from like cars or something. 8 seconds. One. Take a look at that. See how this comes out. 'It's alien, of course, turning to the side again like usual. He doesn't look as weird in this one as he did in the other scene, though. Place the other scene that was only 6 seconds, so let me delete that. Get rid of it.
The modern challenge, however, stems from rapid changes to atmospheric chemistry. Human industrial activity.
15, just because it is kind of loud.
The modern challenge, however, stems from rapid changes to atmospheric chemistry. Human industrial activity, deforestation,
Deforestation will be the next one. 36.
and the large-scale burning of fossil fuels are injecting massive volumes of additional greenhouse gases into the air.
It's out to 46 seconds. So it's 10 seconds. So I'll do 36 to 46:10. I'll do a 4-second clip of deforestation and then a 6-second clip of the other one. So see how that turns out. So for this, the astronaut and alien are in a vast area of forest that just underwent deforestation. And then I could do something to make it kind of a sad looking scene. Um, Tone of the image to be sad. So, so I'm talking about sometimes you get these weird things where the astronaut's head is completely turned around. Uh, Again, this where they're not even looking, they should be looking at. So, when I guess they're looking at this maybe tree, this is them looking at the camera. This one, color tone, grim looking, definitely fits the bill as far as what I wanted it to do. So, video, I said it's going to be 4 seconds. We only need one. So, astronaut and alien are overlooking a vast area of forest that just underwent deforestation. Tons have the tone of the image to be sad or depressing. It's no longer an image. Have the tone to be sad or depressing. Ensure the astronauts. Okay. And then I'll put, I like to do this where I say the astronaut puts his arm around the alien to comfort him. The camera remains stationary, and then something like this, I would want it to be like a cold, hollow wind can be heard. Music, no speech. See what that ends up looking like. Take a look. See, I forgot to say that they don't turn around. Um, Island overlooking a vast area of forest that just underwent deforestation has the tone to be sad or depressing. Do not turn around. Putting it in all caps makes a difference, but sometimes I'll do that, especially if I get upset that I keep generating the same scene over and over and it just doesn't seem to want to listen to my instructions. See, turned out much better. So this one, I'm just going to let it have a 4 second portion, fix the audio. Then
Industrial activity, deforestation, and the large-scale burning of fossil fuels
40 seconds,
are injecting massive volumes of additional greenhouse gases into the air.
40:06, 06 to right about there. So this next scene is where do this one won't have the astronaut and alien. It's going to be a high angle shot of a busy metropolitan city. The sky is full of pollution and smog from all the cars. Sure, the art style is in the same style as the astronaut and alien, but they are not in it. Yeah, check it out. Okay. Um, Sometimes it'll be a bit ridiculous. You look at this, and there's just literally a billion cars. All of these. Maybe that can kind of be realistic, but you could see if you look closely, some of the cars are facing directions. So people are really going to pay attention to that sort of a detail. See what it looks like. This one only because it has a little freeway here. It's going to be another 6-second video. Shot of a busy metropolitan city. The sky is full of pollution and smog. The sound of traffic. Cars honking can be heard. Camera remains stationary. No music and no speech. See how that turns out. The one thing I don't like about this is the way the smoke is portrayed or the pollution. Makes it look like there's a fire or something going on and not necessarily pollution. It's probably one of those details most people won't really pay attention. It's only going to be a very small portion of the overall video. Here, seemed like it was going to be loud. Negative 15.
Burning of fossil fuels are injecting massive volumes of additional greenhouse gases into the air. This artificial buildup is making Earth's atmospheric blanket increasingly thick. By trapping
6. So I'll need an 8-second clip here. So one of my opening scenes, visualizing the here the greenhouse effect as a blanket wrapping around the Earth. Do get the same prompt, astronaut island wrapping a, and this time I put a very thick blanket to visualize human ejected greenhouse effect. but see what the images look like. It's doing its thing. I'm going to be right back. Use the restroom really quick. All right. Take a look. Maybe we can do this one. Video. I think I said I needed it to be 8 seconds. Frame, 8 seconds. One. So, astronaut and alien are wrapping a very thick blanket around the Earth to visualize human injected greenhouse effects. Sure. Okay. Camera remains stationary. No music, no speech. And let's see what that one looks like. Take a look here. Doing some weird stuff. Like the AI animation here. Got it wrapped and then they unwrap it just to wrap it again. One more generation. See if it can come out better than that. brightest. The other ones will take it.
This artificial buildup is making Earth's atmospheric blanket increasingly thick. By trapping excessive amounts of thermal energy that would otherwise escape into space, enhanced greenhouse warming drives rising global temperatures, shifts delicate climate.
Do this.
By trapping excessive amounts of thermal energy that would otherwise escape into space, enhanced greenhouse warming drives rising global temperatures.
Excessive amounts of thermal energy that would otherwise escape into space. To
By trapping excessive amounts of thermal energy that would otherwise escape into space,
I can do the Earth. It's from Earth as viewed from space. Do is I'll have the Earth radiating red in the video to indicate that it's kind of warming up. Share the art styles and get a few images going, and then we will see what that looks like. Oh, it's a nice looking Earth. This one. Video. How long is it gonna be? 8:53 to 58. So we need a 6-second clip. It's viewed from space. Uh, it is slowly rotating and um, red to indicate a warming planet due to climate change. Uh, the Earth camera remains stationary, and then again, my commands for space. For audio, the deep rumble of outer space can be heard. No music, no speech. Test that out. See what that looks like, and um, hopefully it turns out well. Right. Let's take a look. I hate it when it does something like that. See, it shifts to a whole different video. So sometimes what I need to do, I need to say one continuous scene, but even then, it isn't always perfect. Let's see it again. It's viewed from space. It is slowly rotating and glowing red. Again, these are the frustrating ones where I may have to keep generating the same scene over and over just to get it to work. Take a look. It doesn't work sometimes after um, a few failed attempts. I'll just try and have to come up with a different scene entirely. There's just some things that this tool cannot seem to reproduce. One of them that I had issue in the past was trains, trains going on in a single direction. A lot of times it would have it go one way on a track and then all of a sudden reverse, no matter how many times I tried to make it just go in a straight line. This looks like he's got to make sure anytime I'm doing something with the earth that it looks right, continents and whatnot, which it does. So that is perfect. Exactly what I needed. So I'll download that and then we will do the video. See if it sounds.
Thick. By trapping excessive amounts of thermal energy that would otherwise escape into space, enhanced greenhouse warming drives rising global temperatures, shifts delicate climate systems.
Scene here is just what I'm going to do from 58,
Enhanced greenhouse warming drives rising global temperatures.
58 to 203. So I'll need another 6 second scene for that one. This one I can have the astronaut and alien. I want to have them outside. Um, do something indicating that it's hot outside, obviously. So actually, greenhouse warming drives rising global temperatures. So maybe we can do something where they are, near a glacier. So the astronaut and alien are observing observing a glacier that is melting due to increase in global temperatures. See what kind of images that can produce. And again, same issue as usual. When anytime I have them observing something, it always likes to have them not actually observing, but staring at the camera. Do the astronaut and alien are observing a glacier that is melting. They are, you always see it like off the coast of Alaska somewhere. So they are on a boat off the coast of Alaska. Off the coast of Alaska. See what that looks like. This is more of what I was looking for. And again, they are not looking at the glaciers aside from this picture right here. So what I can do, we'll use this image like it. It's got the green on the sides indicating that, you know, snow has melted away there. Obviously the glacier is like all that's left. So let's use that. And I think I said I need it to be 6 seconds. So use the frame. And we'll say the astronaut and alien are observing a glacier that is melting due to increase in global temperatures. They are on a boat off the coast of Alaska. They do not turn around. The glacier falls, breaks off, and falls into the ocean, causing a large wave to come towards the boat. The camera remains stationary. The sound of breaking here falling into the water can be heard. Uh, Music, speech. Let's give that a shot. Let's take a look. Thing I don't like here is how it looks like the boat is moving forward. Let's take a look at the glacier. All right, kind of like it. Camera movement. I'd like to see the astronaut and alien bracing somehow. They're just not even reacting. But let's say it'll do. So let's throw it in there. I think about a second of it is going to be cut off anyway. Yeah. So we don't even get to that point. And that might need to actually go even lower.
into space. Enhanced greenhouse warming drives rising global temperatures, shifts
We need to go to 20.
Enhanced greenhouse warming drives rising global temperatures, shifts
20.
space. Enhanced greenhouse warming drives rising global temperatures, shifts delicate climate systems
Next one to 5. So I need a 4-second clip. And then what's the rest?
and destabilizes weather patterns worldwide.
Do a flood of some sort. But for this portion,
Shifts delicate climate systems
I can do thinking like a dying farmland. Astronaut and alien are in the middle of dying farmland due to the shift in climate that has now made the area uh, try that out. Okay, and again, they're always, when I say that they're observing something, it always has them just staring directly at the camera. So what I don't want that, so I'll do the astronaut island or in the middle of dying farmland due to the shifts in climate that has now made the area. I'll have them doing something. They are combing through the dead crops. That way, hopefully, they're not just staring into the camera doing something. Much better. Which one do I like? Maybe this one. Astronaut's got a little tiny shovel. The reason I don't like this is this one's got the golden crops and then the completely dead crops on one side. So I'd rather have the continuity. Here, astronaut looks to be holding something. I have no idea what it is. This one's not too bad either. Looks like he's holding on to some seeds. Try, say, 4 seconds. So it's not a very long scene. This astronaut and alien are in the middle of dying farmland due to the shift in climate. They're coming through the dead crops. I'll do a hollow, eerie wind can be heard. Camera remains stationary. No music, no speech. Give that one a shot. Scene, and we are almost done here. Almost done. And this video will be ready for tomorrow.
Shifts delicate warming, drives rising global temperatures, shifts delicate climate systems, and destabilizes weather patterns worldwide.
7, 6 second clip here. So this one, what I wanted to do, extreme flooding is something that's very common with climate change. So we'll do astronaut and alien are uh, chaotic seeing are struggling to survive a flood due to a sudden downpour of rain that has completely overtaken a town. It is chaotic and destructive. Let's see what that looks like. Here we go. These are looking pretty good. As usual, they're always looking at the screen. This one's actually not too bad. Might go with this one. Sometimes it messes up scaling, like here, where they're freaking giants relative to the buildings around them. This one's not too bad. You see, there's some people here thrown in there as well, but again, they're just very big relative to their surroundings. Might go with this one, but let me generate a few more images. See if we can't get something a little bit better. This one, because you can see here, alien smiling in these two. It shouldn't be a happy moment. This one, you've got these baby school buses, but this one, it's perfect. They're a little too big, but that one. I said 6 seconds video here. Actually, looks like he's in distress. So, astronaut and alien are struggling to survive a flood due to a sudden downpour of rain. It is chaotic and destructive. Camera, stationary. In this case, I shouldn't have to describe the sound since it's kind of obvious. So the camera remains stationary, no music, no speech. And let's see how that one turns out. See, what I don't like about this is the astronaut turns into a full sized adult and kind of takes away from my character because he's supposed to be tiny. And I think that's because this image, you can kind of tell he's tiny there, but then it doesn't know. And then we have a full sized one more. That doesn't work. I may regenerate the image, try something different, describe the scene a little bit differently. It's not too bad. and that was kind of a loud scene as well. So
systems and destabilizes weather patterns worldwide. Understands
20.
and destabilizes weather patterns worldwide. Understanding this delicate thermal balance is essential to safeguarding our planet's future.
16, 14. 14. So let me extend this out to 14. One single scene, 6 seconds. All right, how do I want the closing scene?
Understanding this delicate thermal balance is essential to safeguarding our planet's future.
Is my opening scene. I had Trump here, since he's a very big climate denier.
What is the greenhouse effect? It is a natural planetary phenomenon that works exactly.
Maybe in the very end, we could have the astronaut and alien with Trump, as if they somehow convinced him to accept
Understanding
climate
this
change.
delicate thermal balance is essential to safeguarding our planet's future.
I can do something like the astronaut and alien are, let's have them sitting in the Oval Office with President Donald Trump. A printout that says climate change is real. President appears to be listening to them intently. Share the alien size, camera's position. Nope. Get rid of that. Let's see. Like, be pray him. If in this image, we could have the astronaut stand up, shake the hand of Trump, who is smiling, seems to be agreeing with them. Happy ending. A few more images by accident, but I guess we'll see how that turns out. And I said I need to be 6 seconds long. Video, 6 seconds. Just look at the new images. Go with this one right here. So the astronaut and alien are sitting in the Oval Office with the president. I usually always have to get rid of their names in the video portion, otherwise it flags it. They have a cardboard printout. So climate change is real. President appears to be listening to them. Is in agreement. The astronaut stands up and shakes the president's hand. President remains seated and shakes his hand back and smiles. Camera remains stationary. No music, no speech. All right, let's see if it flags it. Scene here. Generating prominent people, of course. So what I'll do, sometimes a few workarounds. I can say the astronaut and alien are sitting in the Oval Office with a man. They have a card up. The man appears to be listening to them and is in agreement. The astronaut stands up and shakes the man's hand. The man's hand. The man remains seated and shakes his hand back and smiles. So sometimes, if you just default to saying man, woman, as opposed to a position, title, or a name, it'll work. Other times, it it just detects that even if it's animated, that it strongly resembles a famous person and won't do the video. For some reason, it can do images, but the videos are significantly more strict than the images. But so far, it looks like the images or the video is working. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Or usually by now, if it didn't work, oh, looks like it worked. The astronaut, ugh, it made him full height. He's supposed to be tiny. Pisses me off. Let's try it again. And then here's one of the things that can be hit or miss is that even though I was able to generate it once, When I try to do it a second time, yep, see, it's going to flag it. This tells me if I just keep trying, it should hopefully get through. Just have to try a few times. Flagged again. Uh, and it's always so frustrating because I got it to work the first time, but it didn't turn out well. And now it doesn't want to work. Right. Probably have to do is try it a few times. If it doesn't do it, I'll probably switch to one of the other photos. And if it messes up again, I'll have the astronaut remain seated. Looks like maybe this one's going to go through. This one will go. It's another freaking tall astronaut. Okay. Astronaut and alien are sitting in the Oval Office with a man. The man appears to be listening to them and is in agreement. The astronaut remains seated and gives the man a thumbs up. The man remains seated and gives the astronaut a thumbs up back. That way, we shouldn't have to worry about the astronaut growing 2 feet. It's a matter of getting it to generate again. Far so good. This one should go through. Take a look. That beep, but I can. Came out right. Zoom in here.
Its future.
That audio. back.
to safeguarding our planet's future.
Sounds like I missed.
Planet's future.
Just have the entire last portion there.
Guarding our planet's future.
So let's watch the whole video. Sure, it sounds okay.
What is the greenhouse effect? It is a natural planetary phenomenon that works exactly like a giant solar blanket wrapping completely around the Earth. Without it, our
Part was a little loud. -10.
What is the greenhouse effect? It is a natural planetary phenomenon that works exactly like a giant solar blanket wrapping completely around the Earth. Without it, our world would be inhospitable to life. When shortwave solar radiation from the sun strikes the surface, the
Could be a little quieter.
life. When shortwave solar radiation from the sun strikes the surface, the continents and oceans absorb that solar energy and re-radiate the excess back towards space.
This can be a little bit lighter or quieter too.
Solar energy and re-radiate the excess back towards space as long-wave infrared
Maybe even quieter than that.
energy and re-radiate the excess back towards space as long-wave infrared heat. However, specific gases in our atmosphere, principally water vapor, carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, act like a one-way mirror. While incoming sunlight passes straight through the atmosphere unimpeded, these greenhouse gas molecules absorb the outgoing thermal radiation and re-emit it in all directions, redirecting critical warmth back toward the surface. Without this essential baseline insulation, Earth's average global temperature would plummet to roughly -18 degrees Celsius, turning our entire world into a frozen, lifeless ball of ice. The natural greenhouse effect provides the thermal stability required for liquid oceans, stable weather patterns, and flourishing biological ecosystems. The modern challenge, however, stems from rapid changes to atmospheric chemistry. Human industrial activity, deforestation, and the large-scale burning of fossil fuels are injecting massive volumes of additional greenhouse gases into the air. This artificial buildup is making Earth's atmospheric blanket increasingly thick. By trapping excessive amounts of thermal energy that would otherwise escape into space, enhanced greenhouse warming drives rising global temperatures, shifts delicate climate systems, and destabilizes weather patterns worldwide. Understanding this delicate thermal balance is essential to safeguarding our planet's future.
Good. It is good.
What is the greenhouse effect?
Me watching it off
What
screen.
is the greenhouse effect? As long-wave, prevent industrial buildup, enhanced green
Just
pattern
making sure
safeguarding our planet's.
the entire video plays. So I skipped through it because I've had it before where I uploaded a video and somehow, for some way, it I downloaded it. It just completely messed up, and like the video froze after a few seconds, and I had to take it down, re-upload it. So ever since then, I've always made sure that it looks good. So we'll look at, we'll go to YouTube. Now we're going to create, upload video. We're going to upload the greenhouse. And now I'm going to fill in the SEO data that I have. So this was a short that I had made a couple weeks back. I'm just now barely making the long form video. So I am just copying, or I've got to find it, and then I'm going to copy the title, what is a greenhouse effect, description. I've got this. I have to make a thumbnail still. I'll do that in just a second. Playlist, geoscience, physics, chemistry. So geoscience, physics, chemistry. Separated tags. Let me throw those in there. These. Let's generate thumbnail. So let me show you what I do here. Different screen. Got a pre-built, um, got a template of what I typically will write. So I've just got to copy it from an old video. So I'll say I've got this pre-built in there, and then let me copy and paste script. Make usually 12 of those. See which one I end up liking the most. And if I don't like any of them, I'll just keep generating a few more. I like this one. So if I go in here, I would say change the header to greenhouse. The greenhouse effect. I'll download that one. Also, need to make a 916 version, so I'll convert to 916. This is for Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram since they use 916 ratio thumbnails. Okay. It's not too bad either. That set this one as the project cover. Now I'll go back, upload the thumbnail, effects, subtitles. I need to go to auto sync, and this is where I will grab my little script. I'll post it in here or paste it in here, and then this will automatically
What is the greenhouse effect?
create them and
It is a
sync them up.
natural planetary phenomenon that works exactly like a giant solar blanket wrapping completely around the Earth. Without it, our world
Screen I imported always from my previous video. I'll always put my previous video. This one is greenhouse. Actually, not always the previous. I'll try and keep it themed. So geoscience, what is a rock cycle? I'll throw that in a minute. Schedule for tomorrow. And I'll post it 7 a.m. Should be fine. Schedule. And then the one thing I always want to check here, take a look at, go in there, edit it, look at languages. Good. I want to make sure, pretty sure this happens automatically, but I always want to make sure it's processing all the other languages. So I have not just English subtitles, but subtitles for a bunch of other languages as well. So that is it. Um, I don't think anyone's around. Pretty sure I've been alone the vast majority of this stream. Not a problem. I expected it since it was my first stream and it's not the funnest of videos to watch, but it looks like I did have some views, pretty decent view duration. And so, my plan here moving forward is to keep doing this. Hopefully, I'll start gaining some interest and people will keep coming to watch. And, I envision a day where I can do these streams and the chat is somewhat lively. Everyone's talking, asking questions, and giving me their own ideas, their own inputs on what I should put for prompts and, kind of make the videos into a community driven video as opposed to just me trying to think up things on my own. But if anyone ends up seeing this later, whether it's a video on demand or I guess that's really the only way to see this after I finish the stream. Give me your thoughts, in the comments. Let me know what you guys think, any ideas, and hopefully I'll see you guys again in the next stream. So appreciate it. Thank you. Hope you guys all have a great rest of your day.